Get ready for a high-octane dose of combat sports news. Demetrious Johnson is speaking out, urging Israel Adesanya to hang up his gloves, but why? Johnson believes Adesanya has nothing left to prove in the octagon, questioning his motivation after a string of tough losses. We've got the inside scoop on what DJ thinks is next for the former middleweight king. Then, Silva is making bold demands, vowing to leave the UFC if he doesn't get a shot at Alexander Volkanovski. Silva isn't holding back, making his case directly to UFC brass and even calling out Movsar Evloev. Will he get his title shot, or is this a risky gamble? Plus, we're diving deep into the massive UFC antitrust lawsuit settlement. Over $237 million paid out, but where are the rest of the funds? We'll break down the reasons for payment delays and who is still waiting to get their piece of the pie from this landmark case. And finally, Renato Moicano is gearing up for a dangerous clash with Chris Duncan at UFC Vegas 115. Moicano sees himself as the more technical fighter despite being the underdog. What's his strategy for this pivotal lightweight bout? You don't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Demetrious Johnson says Israel Adesanya should retire. UFC legend Demetrious Johnson believes former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya should consider retirement after his recent loss to Joe Pyfer. Johnson, speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, cited his own career experiences, emphasizing the importance of financial security and mindset in professional fighting. He feels Adesanya, at 36, has achieved everything in the sport and deserves to relax. Johnson stated, "I feel like what made me so good in fighting was, 1, I viewed it as a job. 2, I needed seeking money, right? When you're poor and you're broke, you have a different mindset." He added, "You don't need to CKNG fight. He's still young. He's only 36. But yeah, I was gutted." Johnson, a two-time UFC middleweight champion, feels Adesanya has nothing left to prove, especially considering his kickboxing achievements. Fans are divided, with some agreeing with Johnson's sentiment about protecting legacy, while others point to Adesanya's passion and potential to make a comeback. Analysts are weighing in on whether Adesanya's fighting spirit or Johnson's seasoned advice will prevail. Don't go anywhere, because the featherweight division is heating up with a bold declaration from Silva. Silva vows to leave UFC with a loss against Alexander Volkanovski. Silva is making a powerful statement in the UFC's featherweight division, explicitly campaigning for a title shot against Alexander Volkanovski. His push comes at a time when Movsar Evloev is also strengthening his claim with recent victories, creating a crowded picture for the next contender. Silva recently approached UFC executive Hunter Campbell with a contract in hand, signaling his serious intent. While Volkanovski has expressed a preference for Evloev based on credentials, Silva has issued a stark warning. He intends to exit the UFC entirely if he faces and loses to Volkanovski. He voiced these strong opinions on the Ariel Helwani show. Evloev boasts an undefeated record of 20-0 with 10 UFC wins, while Silva holds a record of 17-3 with 6 UFC finishes. Silva believes Evloev might slow down the division's momentum. This high-stakes declaration has sent ripples through the featherweight division. Fans are debating whether Silva's confidence is justified or if he's overplaying his hand. UFC analysts are speculating on the potential matchups and how Silva's ultimatum could influence the title picture. But what happens when the lawsuits settle? We're talking about over $237 million for fighters, but not everyone has seen their payout yet. UFC antitrust lawsuit sees over $237 million paid to fighters, but some payments are delayed. A significant portion of the $375 million UFC antitrust lawsuit settlement has been distributed, with over $237 million already reaching fighters and their attorneys. The settlement, approved in 2025, aimed to resolve claims from fighters who competed between 2010 and 2017, stemming from a lawsuit initially filed in 2014. Several other antitrust lawsuits targeting the UFC are still ongoing. Attorneys for the fighters, led by Berger Montague, have disbursed over $237,386,515.53 to 984 claimants across 44 countries, representing more than 90% of eligible athletes. However, the remaining funds are facing delays for several reasons. According to the legal team, 10 fighters have not yet received their payments due to outstanding legal matters, such as competing claims from spouses or taxing authorities, or unclear rightful recipients. Common issues include fighters dying without a will or having outstanding child support obligations following a divorce. Additionally, 17 fighters residing in countries subject to U.S. sanctions face strict prohibitions on fund transfers. The legal firm is actively working to disperse the remaining settlement payments, urging any claimants facing issues to reach out. The news has sparked widespread discussion among fighters and fans about the complexities of large-scale legal settlements and the importance of clear legal documentation. And speaking of fighters making bold moves, Renato Moicano is ready to prove doubters wrong in his next fight. Renato Moicano is eager for a dangerous fight against Chris Duncan at UFC Vegas 115. Renato Moicano is gearing up for a pivotal lightweight bout against Chris Duncan at UFC Vegas 115, seeing it as a crucial opportunity to re-establish himself in the division. Despite entering the fight as a plus 150 underdog, Moicano is confident in his technical abilities and strategy. Moicano acknowledges Duncan's strengths as a striker with capable submission skills, particularly the guillotine and arm triangle. However, he believes his superior technical approach will be the deciding factor. He's a very good striker. He has some good submissions, guillotines, arm triangles, Moicano stated to UFC.com. He is a tough fight. I don't wanna have a long brawl. I think I'm more technical than him. Moicano also noted Duncan's physical attributes, suggesting he might be undersized for the lightweight division, but has still managed impressive wins. Despite being on a two-fight losing streak, Moicano insists he feels no added pressure. He emphasizes his love for the sport and his desire for a strong performance. Not really. I'm not feeling too much pressure because at the end of the day, I do this because I love it, I love to compete, I love to fight, and I just want to have a good performance for myself, he explained. Moicano is focused on defeating Duncan to secure another fight soon, aiming to prove he remains a lightweight title contender. Fans are debating Moicano's underdog status and his chances against the streaking Duncan. The fight is seen as a high-stakes matchup for both competitors, with Moicano aiming to defy expectations and Duncan looking to continue his momentum. That's all the news for today, but stick around for a quick recap of all the action. What a show! We heard Demetrious Johnson's retirement advice for Israel Adesanya, saw Silva's bold challenge to Alexander Volkanovski, uncovered details on the massive UFC antitrust payout delays, and previewed Renato Moicano's dangerous fight against Chris Duncan. Don't miss another second of the action. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure to follow us on all social media platforms for even more combat sports updates.